Wow, it's a beautiful weekend in March coming up. Today's Friday. I'm just getting my head around what I'm going to do this weekend. First of all, I'm going to start on Saturday at Lake Chelan. I'm going to fish with my buddy Shane Magnuson and see if we can find a king salmon up there. And if we don't, I'm sure we can catch some nice lake trout. Then, my wife Eileen and I are going to head down to the Columbia Basin, and we're going to explore the lakes that open in early March there. These are very popular trout lakes, and we're going to look and see how people are doing at these early March trout lakes in the Columbia Basin. Well, here we are. Beautiful spring morning on Lake Chelan with Shane Magnuson, Upper Columbia Guide Services. My buddy Shane and I have been out on a lot of different water all over central Washington. And today we're fishing Lake Chelan, making one of the first trips of the season looking for Chinook salmon. He's got quite an array spread out here. Lots of plugs, lots of lures. And this is probably your first real trip out here looking for kings this spring, eh?
Yeah, it really is, Dave. We've been talking about it all winter long, of course, and finally getting at it.
Well, that's great. It looks like you picked a great day to give it a try. Just a nice light breeze on the water. Clear skies. Beats fishing in the rain at Rufus Woods like you did yesterday, huh?
Very, very much so.
Well, it looks like you ran out a variety of bait from whole herring to cut plug herring to atomic plugs, and now we're just looking for fat, hungry, dumb king salmon, eh?
I like the dumb ones. We'll feed them all.
Well, also along with us this morning is Richard, also from Leavenworth. Good morning, Richard.
Good morning, Dave.
Yeah, it's we picked a great day to get out here, huh?
So far, so good. All we need is a rod to go off.
There you go. We're in position.
It's going to happen any minute. I can feel it.
That's right. All right. Now I can see why Richard is one of your fishing buddies too. He's got the right attitude, Shane.
He's been at this for a lot of years. He understands it.
There you go. Well, good. We're going to ply the waters here in Manson Bay for a while and see if we can turn up a fish. No one is happy about having to repair a vehicle after an accident. However, I was very happy when I chose First Choice Collision Center when I needed this service. I can't say enough about how they treated me. Fast and friendly just doesn't say enough. They have amazing technology to make a damaged vehicle look like new. At First Choice Collision Center, you can expect modern service with old-fashioned values. That was my experience, and I'm sure it will be yours too.
No matter where anglers are heading, whether it's Banks Lake, Lake Roosevelt, or Rufus Woods Reservoir, they all make the same stop. That's at Big Wally's in Coulee City. Here they find everything they need for a successful day on the water. Fuel, ice, a tackle shop, and people who know what they're selling behind the counter. State and tribal licenses, even a hot breakfast or lunch. When you're on the go, don't forget to stop at Big Wally's and visit their website at bigwallysfishing.com.
Hooked on Toys!
Hordes of anglers head for our area lakes as they open to fishing in the spring, but before they head for their favorite lake, they stop at Hooked on Toys in Wenatchee. Hooked on Toys is the biggest tackle store in eastern Washington, and they have everything an angler could need for a successful day on the water. You'll find the biggest selection at the best prices for all your angling needs. Located at 1444 North Wenatchee Avenue or online at hookedontoys.com.
Hooked on Toys!
It's bait check time. Just got to go through that routine after trolling for a while. Just a good idea to make sure everything's working the way it's supposed to be. Now that's how you like to see a bait working. Just revolving around that tail rod, revolving around that trailing hook. I like the look of that. right at this speed. Perfecto. Okay, well the day's brightened up quite a bit here, and the Chinook have been scarce. And Richard here said he would like to see what a lake trout looks like. So Shane, you're changing tactics a little bit, switching some gear around.
Oh yeah, when we go off these lake trout, Dave, we're gonna go and target the bottom, basically drag our stuff down there, get some bait rolling real close to the bottom, which really could pick up a Chinook too, but those lake trout are always deep, laying in the mud, looking for anything they can scavenge, so we're gonna go down there and get after them. We're changing over to whole herring and putting on some chain swivels and make sure it doesn't spin up our line, and getting it down there deep.
All right.
Nothing like dragging some bait down on the bottom here in Lake Chelan. I'm not getting much bite out of this, so I don't know what point we got going on here, but there is some weight.
You're on the mono now, eh? Okay, good.
We're 100 feet from victory.
Or the agony of defeat.
Well, it's sure going to be a scenic fish, I know that.
Definitely got some weight to it. Nice fish! I'm guessing 10 pounds and over would be my guess.
That'd be great. Oh, there he is. Oh, that is a good one, Shane.
Yeah, that's a big one.
I guess I'm gonna have to put
Your line's over mine.
Yep, see that.
I'll put the camera down and get the net. Well, Shane, yeah, you made it happen all right. Look at that guy. Oh yeah, that's a very nice Lake Chelan laker. What were we down there, about 300 feet?
Oh, we were pushing probably 250, 260, pretty
Yeah.
close to the bottom. You know, one thing about this this Lake Chelan, even though the Chinook fishing was a little slow this morning, you can always switch over and target these big Macs, which are a lot of fun to catch too.
Oh boy, that's a dandy. That's a good representative, Lake Chelan Mackinaw. And like you say, hey, if the king's fishing slow, you can always grab one of these guys. Lots of fun.
Makes the trip worthwhile.
Great job.
Boy, I don't feel nothing, but I know there's weight there.
Oh, he's there.
I know. He's sitting there with his mouth open.
Yeah, he's figuring out that it kind of hurts to come this far up.
Well, he's got that tongue coming out of his mouth now.
Just wondering if we get that far inside the boat. Think you're okay?
I think so. How about this downer here in the back?
Looks like it could be another decent fish. I think that was the one biting mine. You put down a better bait.
Third time was the charm.
You made a firm mistake on the bait.
What, not gonna tail walk or anything? Come on.
Come here, little buddy. Oh,
He's talking.
broke our leader. Hey, there's two. Something back there.
Ooh, yeah.
happy about being on the circuit.
No.
There we go.
All right. Well, Shane, we're going to button it down. Not yet noon, and we've had quite a morning here on Lake Chelan.
Well, you know, Dave, Chinook fishing was a little slow, but it's turned out to be a beautiful day, and we've had our share of action on some nice Lakers. It's been fun.
Oh, yeah, you know that, and again, you mentioned earlier, hey, if the Chinook aren't cooperating, just drop those baits a little deeper, and guess what? You can catch some very nice lake trout just about any time of year up here.
Oh, and that's the truth. And that coming into the springtime like we are, we're soon to get into the kokanee and great smallmouth fishing. It just has lots of things to offer up here on the lake.
Lake Chelan has a variety of excellent species to chase. I'm glad you mentioned those smallmouth. That's one thing that a lot of people don't think of when they think of Lake Chelan. And I can't wait to see those kokanee showing up in good numbers in the lower basin, because these big lake trout and kings will follow them down.
They do. It's pretty, on a yearly basis, pretty traditional to get all four species down there in the same area.
Looking forward to it, and looking forward for another opportunity to get out with you on any body of water, Shane. Thanks again for it.
Boating is something the whole family can enjoy, and it's surprising how affordable a new boat can be from Bob File Boats and Motors. Stop in today and take a look at the largest selection of boats in North Central Washington, including top names, Bayliner and Tahoe. Bob File Boats and Motors can help you find that boat that fits your needs. And whether it's for fishing or just a ride on the water, you can be sure your new boat will provide hours of fun for years to come. Visit the boating experts today. Bob File Boats and Motors on the Sunset Highway in East Wenatchee, the place to buy a boat.
Honey, you are not gonna believe this. I bought Pepsi Next.
What's Pepsi Next?
It's the new cola from Pepsi. It's got real cola taste, but 60% less sugar.
Real cola taste. 60% less sugar.
Yeah. I know.
It's unbelievable.
But this is the most impressive thing I've ever experienced in my entire life.
Oh, definitely. Let me get a camera. I've never had anything like it. My parents are gonna flip.
Yeah, they're gonna be so proud.
Introducing Pepsi Next. Drink it to believe it.
Are you getting this, honey? It's going viral.
This is Dave Graybill, the Fishin Magician, and when I fish the Upper Columbia and the Madhow Rivers for steelhead, I stay at the Lake Pateros Inn. I can tie my boat right up out front and be minutes from the action. The famous Miller Hole on the Madhow is less than 2 miles away. The rooms are comfortable and surprisingly affordable, and I'll be making the Lake Pateros Inn my base camp. To learn how to book your room at the Lake Pateros Inn, log on to lakepaterosmotorinn.com or call 866-444-1985.
Here we are on a beautiful Sunday, March morning in the Quincy Wildlife Area. This wildlife area stretches here to the south, and it's dotted with lakes. These lakes every year are loaded with rainbow, so that anglers can kick off the season in early March and celebrate fishing here in Central Washington. We're going to take a walking tour and visit some of these lakes, and visit with some of the anglers, and see how the trout fishing is going here early season in the Quincy Wildlife Area. The first lake you come to when you enter the Quincy Wildlife Area is Stan Coffin Lake. This is not a trout lake, but it's a very popular spiny ray lake. It's known for very good largemouth bass fishing, crappie, bluegill, yellow perch, and even catfish. I do want to remind anglers that this is a catch and release largemouth bass fishery, and it's extremely popular when the weather warms. The second lake that you come to as you travel through the Quincy Wildlife Recreation Area is Quincy Lake. This is a very popular lake every year. The Department of Fish and Wildlife typically plants 5,000 to 10,000 catchable rainbow just prior to the opener, and usually the similar number in fry the previous fall or spring. So it's always loaded with fat rainbow for early March fishing. As you can see, there's plenty of shore access here. There's public restroom, lots of parking. Quincy is always a great one for early March trout fishing. It's been slow today. Yesterday afternoon it was red hot for big fish. Our next stop today is at the trailhead to Dusty Lake. In the background you can see this very popular quality lake. There is a one fish limit, but it's known for very large rainbow, brown trout, and tiger trout. Anglers will pack down a pontoon boat or a float tube down the 1 mile trail to reach the lake, and it's extremely popular in the early season.
Your town Ford is kicking off the season with the best deals of the year. It's the Built Ford Tough Truck event. Great power and amazing fuel economy means no compromises. And that's what you get in a truck built Ford Tough. Like the Ford F-150 with a powerful and efficient EcoBoost engine. The power you want and the economy you need. Or Ford Super Duty with its amazing 6.7-liter Power Stroke turbo diesel. If you're looking for power, payload, towing economy, your town Ford's got the truck for you. Head to your town Ford in East Wenatchee.
The goal of Battery Systems is to provide the best products combined with the most efficient service at competitive prices. I've found their people live up to this, so don't buy anything without talking to them. You should make their batteries and accessories your choice to power your vehicles and boats. This is Dave Graybill, and I choose Battery Systems to keep me running onshore and on the water. To find a Battery Systems product expert in a location near you, log on to batterysystems.net.
When you're fishing in Banks Lake, Lake Roosevelt, even Rufus Woods, the place to stay is at Coulee Playland in Electric City. They have camping and RV hookups right on the water. There's a launch with fuel and one of the best tackle shops in the area. You can get your state and tribal fishing licenses right there. Coulee Playland has been the friendly place to stay for fishermen for decades, and if you haven't camped there yet, you'll learn why. Call for reservations at 509-633-2657. Be sure to visit their website at couleeplayland.com.
The Evinrude E-Tech. It's a dream come true.
For E-Tech engine sales and service and repair of all boats and motors, call Lyle's Boats and Motors in Kashmir, 663-5191.
The next stop on our tour of these lakes is Burke. Burke is a real favorite because it also typically receives a large plant of catchable size rainbow just prior to the opening, and often gets a large supply of fry and catchable rainbow at the end of the previous season. So this is one of the lakes that anglers can count on being full of nice fat yearlings and some very large carryovers. Before I left this area, I wanted to make one more stop, and that's at Evergreen Reservoir. This is the last lake that people can visit, find good parking, good boat launches. But it's another spiny ray lake like Stan Coffin. This is a very good lake for largemouth bass, smallmouth bass. It also has walleye, yellow perch, bluegill, and our favorite, tiger muskie. They're not caught often here, but when you hook one, it's a real thrill. The limit on tiger muskie now is it must be 50 inches long to be kept, over 50 inches. So there's a lot of catcher and release. I don't know anybody that's been able to land a 50-inch tiger muskie at Evergreen Reservoir. Our next stop is at Martha Lake, which is just east of the town of George. This lake will be packed with anglers for good reason. Martha Lake gets good plants of fry and catchables in the fall, and then again just prior to the opener, it also is loaded up with catchables, but the big attraction is that Martha Lake will produce carryover rainbow of 16 to 24 inches every year. So it's high on the list of anglers that want to get their first shot at trout every year. Quincy Lake is our last stop on our tour of these Columbia Basin trout waters. As you can see, these lakes are ideally suited for small car topper boats, rafts, float tubes, pontoon boats, and most all of them offer very, very good shore access. The other thing is they're always loaded with plenty of yearling or catchable rainbow and some very nice carryovers. And that's what appeals to anglers in their first shot of the season to get at trout here in eastern Washington.
We could see just fish right in the water, right on the river. Right, nothing. 8 or 10 guys fishing, right?
Yeah.
So I think I'll stick to the bass, walleye.
We actually get some rain at nighttime, so it's not so bad. Yeah. Once those clouds come in, the fish will come up a little bit higher in the column.
Oh, I got to know just by the hunt that way.
Well, there's a lot of good turkey and there's a lot of good whitetail.
All the way up through public. Way up the highway.
Yeah, so we like to hang out and explore up there. We fish Curlew Lake and Kettle River has some big fish in it too.
There's so many places, it's like a candy store. Where do you start? It doesn't really matter. It's all good anyways.
It's all good, that's right. Well, it's good visiting with you.